Impossible survival. The emergency alert pierced the sterile calm of the medical bay, pulling Dr. Naya Zevril from her meditation. Her translucent purple skin pulsed with bioluminescent patterns as she rose swiftly, her long fingers gathering surgical instruments with practiced precision. "Incoming critical," announced the facility's AI. "Human casualty. Survival probability. 17%. Naya's inner eyelids flickered in surprise. Humans rarely survived transport to Celestial Outpost 8. The fragile creatures typically expired during the journey through the Veil Nebula's radiation belt. When the medical drone deposited the human on her examination table, Naya was struck by the extent of his injuries. The man's flight suit was shredded, revealing a devastating wound where a shrike blade had pierced his abdomen. The wound glowed an unnatural blue, energy poisoning from the crystalline weapon. "Subject designation?" she inquired, scanning his vital signs. "Sergeant Elias Reeves, Terran Coalition Forces, found adrift in a damaged escape pod approximately 14 hours post-injury." Naya's inner eyelids flickered in surprise. 14 hours? She repeated, with untreated crystal poisoning? The facility's senior physician, Dr. Thorn Vizcar, entered with a dismissive click of his mandibles. "Another human specimen," he noted coldly. "I don't understand why we waste resources. Document cause of death and prepare the body for analysis." "He's not dead," Naya countered softly, placing her hand over the man's chest. The human's eyes fluttered open unexpectedly, deep brown and remarkably clear despite his condition. Naya stepped back, startled by his consciousness. "Where?" he rasped, his gaze focusing on her purple features. "You're at Celestial Outpost 8. I am Dr. Zevril. You've sustained severe injuries." He attempted a smile. "Bad luck getting stabbed by a crystal sword." Thorn hissed with impatience. "Don't engage with it, Zevril. Follow protocol." Ignoring her superior, Naya leaned closer to examine the wound. The crystal fragments had penetrated dangerously close to his heart, yet somehow bypassed vital organs. More remarkable was his body's reaction. His cells were actively isolating the crystal's energy rather than succumbing to it. "This is impossible," she whispered, forgetting protocol entirely. "How are you still alive, human?" Elias coughed weakly. "I'm supposed to be home next week. I promised my sister I'd be there for her graduation." Naya felt something unfamiliar stir within her, a resonance she had never experienced with a patient before. Humans were enemies, temporary alliances notwithstanding. They were studied, not saved. "Dr. Vizcar, I request assignment to this case," she said suddenly. Thorn's crystalline eyes narrowed. "The Sovereign Council will want this specimen. A human with crystal resistance has significant research value." "He is a patient, not a specimen," Naya corrected, surprising herself with her defiance. "I believe I can save him." "You have 48 hours, Thorn conceded reluctantly. "Then he becomes property of the Science Division." After Thorn departed, Elias caught Naya's wrist with unexpected strength. "Thank you," he whispered. "Most of your kind wouldn't bother." Naya gently disengaged from his grip, unsettled by the warmth of his skin against hers. "Rest, Sergeant Reeves. You will need your strength." As she prepared the bioregeneration chamber, Naya found herself studying the human's face, the strange, soft features so different from her own crystalline structure. Coalition propaganda describes humans as brutal conquerors, yet this one showed remarkable resilience and kindness. "Initiating cellular repair," she announced, more to herself than to him, as the chamber sealed around his broken body. "Your survival defies medical explanation, Sergeant." I intend to discover why. What Naya wouldn't admit, not even to herself, was that for the first time in her medical career, she genuinely cared whether a patient lived or died. Forbidden knowledge. The research laboratory on Level 7 of Celestial Outpost 8 was restricted to Science Division personnel, yet Dr. Thorne Vizcar had granted Naya temporary access to analyze Elias's blood samples. What he didn't know was that she had also accessed classified files on the terminal. Human test subject 127 exhibited partial resistance to crystal toxins, she read silently. Survived 4.3 hours before organ failure. Autopsy revealed anomalous protein structures in the cardiac tissue. Recommend capture of additional specimens for experimental weapons development. Naya's antennae trembled with growing horror as she scrolled through hundreds of similar entries. These weren't medical records. They were weapons research protocols using humans as test subjects. The terminal chimed with an incoming communication. "Dr. Zevril," came the cold voice of Science Director Krell. "I understand your human continues to survive. The Sovereign Council is most interested in your treatment methods." "I've simply applied standard regenerative protocols," Naya replied carefully. "Then you won't object to transferring him to our division tomorrow. His unusual resistance makes him invaluable to our research." Naya's inner eyelids flickered nervously. "He remains medically fragile, perhaps another few days." "That wasn't a request, Doctor," Krell interrupted. "Prepare him for transfer at 0800 hours. The greater good of our people must take priority over a single enemy combatant." After the communication ended, Naya quickly copied the classified files to a portable drive and erased evidence of her access. Her actions constituted high treason, punishable by crystallization, a process that would transform her body into inert crystal, while her consciousness remained trapped inside. When she returned to the medical bay, Elias was attempting to stand, supporting himself against the examination table. "You shouldn't be exerting yourself," she admonished, rushing to his side. "I had to see if I could," he replied, his face pale with effort. "I overheard the nurses talking about tomorrow's transfer." Naya helped him back onto the table, acutely aware of the warmth of his skin beneath her fingers. "I found something," she whispered. "The Science Division has been experimenting on humans to develop biological weapons using crystal toxins." Elias's expression hardened. "That would explain the rumors of soldiers dying from invisible wounds after battles with your forces." "There's more," Naya continued. "Your blood contains an enzyme variant my people have never encountered. It neutralizes crystal energy at the molecular level. If they discover this, they'll dissect me to weaponize it," he finished grimly. An uncomfortable silence fell between them. Naya realized she stood at a precipice: continue as a loyal citizen of the Crystalline Confederation, or betray everything for a human who, by all rights, was her enemy. "Why do you care what happens to me? I'm just one human in a war with millions of casualties." Naya's skin illuminated with patterns that revealed emotions she could no longer hide. "Because in you, I see something I thought extinct in this endless war. Compassion, humor, resilience. You joke about your pain instead of surrendering to it. You ask about my life instead of hating me for what I am. That's called being human," he said softly. "Perhaps humanity is not exclusive to your species," she replied, her voice barely audible. Their eyes met, and something unspoken passed between them. Without conscious thought, Naya moved closer. Elias reached up, his fingers gently tracing the luminescent patterns along her cheek. The touch sent cascades of light rippling across her skin. "I've never seen anything so beautiful," he murmured. Naya knew the protocol violations she was committing, yet found herself unable to pull away. Instead, she pressed her forehead against his, an intimate gesture among her people that shared emotional resonance. "I can't let you take you," she whispered, her decision crystallizing in that moment of connection. "We have 6 hours before the transfer order. If you're strong enough to walk, I know a way out." "You'd risk everything for me?" he asked incredulously.
Perhaps I'm risking everything for both of us, Naya replied, recognizing the truth even as she spoke it. There can be no return from this path. As the outpost's night cycle deepened around them, they began planning their escape, two beings from warring worlds united by something neither had expected to find in the cold emptiness of space, understanding that transcended species, and perhaps something more.
The Crash and the Enemy.